Good morning. It's turned out nice again. Motherfucker, it actually really has, guys. It's all right. And I'm really tired. I'm sorry I didn't get a podcast out to you yesterday. I did a lot of videos yesterday, which took up a lot of time. And I just ran out of time in the end. And then I spoke to someone that I care about that is having a really bad time, struggling with some things. And it really affected my mood, to be honest with you. If you listen to the Dunk Knows Best podcast, I'll talk about that today, but it's nothing to do with football or anything. Anyway, today's a new day. I'm not sure it's my perfect day because I've been out shopping. Do you want to see what I bought? Now, if you're new to my channel, and do not even think of leaving a comment saying, get to the point, because I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to talk to my friends, all right, in my Cop Talk community. You are insignificant, so don't think you can come in here and tell me what to do. You'll comment once and that'll be it. I bought a toilet brush, look. How cool is that? It's got a little handle inside when you take this off. And then when you have a pony, right, you can... You know how a toilet brush works, don't you guys? You know what I'm saying? And then... I bought two of these. Pillows. Yeah. €100. Living the dream. Do you see what I did there? And then... Thanks to you guys that have supported me this week with that little love art button. Coins Gallerini. I don't have the information to hand at the moment. And Jen always supports me. Thanks to you guys. I managed to get some steak for the weekend. I love to get some steak for a Saturday. Do you know what I mean? And Coins said, thanks, Dunk, for all your videos. The format is brilliant. Your Yorkshire's answers to Rapsy Nesbitt. Here's a few quid for a steak or some more dark chocolate. Well, we better leave that chocolate thing alone, don't we? So yeah, I do appreciate it. Thank you. As for Absina, I know I need a shave. That'll be taking care of that shortly. And get my hair cut at 1 o'clock this afternoon as well. So yeah, I should be a little bit more tidy. Usually if my stubble's too long, people that have known me for a long time only know that I'm depressed. That's not the case at the moment, but if I don't have a shave soon, people will start phoning the Samaritans and the emergency services to check on me and stuff like that. But no, I'll tidy up later and have my Yogi Bear cut. I've also got some of this, look. Oh, I've got this as well, look. I like these as well, look. Do you know what I mean? Pepsi Cherry Max. I love it, mate. It's good. How are you doing? You all right? Yeah. Oh. It's very, very warm today, so that drink's lovely. So yeah, I've been shopping and I hate shopping. I can't be doing stuff like that. So, I was going to say Thuram, it's Thuram, innit? Or Thuram, you know what I mean. Him and Kone. I've seen some people making some claims overnight. Rumours, only rumours, along the lines that Liverpool have agreed personal terms with these people. And nobody that I know or trust is saying that yet. All right, so it doesn't mean that therefore, they haven't told Dunk, so it can't be true. No, I don't mean that. Or what I'm saying is, I feel comfier when my people, my friends, tell me those things. And I just want to give like a little bit of cautionary advice to you about this. So, I remember many, many years ago, right? So I started Cop Talk in the late 90s, and I used to be part of football, what we call football hubs, like networks. So they'd have like one big football website at the top, and then they wanted websites for every club, right? So there was Total Football, for example, which became Unofficial Football Network, and which was Total Football Magazine. I don't know if you remember that. I don't think they do it anymore. And Footy Mad was another one. And these companies, they'd have one big football website with all the news, and then they would have, like, if you like, call them affiliates, really, to be a part of that hub underneath the main site. And Cop Talk, this isn't just me saying this, right? Without a doubt, was way above all of them people. Every club, the ones that tried Liverpool, everything. Listen, I'm not very good at many things in life, but I've been good with Cop Talk. I know that, right? And back in the day, those companies approached me and said, we want Cop Talk to be the cornerstone of our network. We need you on our network, right? Even though there was other Liverpool websites on there, right? And to cut a long story short, they would pay you advertising, like a share of advertising, to be with them, so they could refer to you as one of their partner websites, if you like. So you would get your normal advertising like you would do if you're a lone wolf like today. This is all relevant, right? And then they used to say to me, we just want you to be with us, right? So we'll give you a retainer. So, for example, £6,000 a month just to be with us. That's what Cop Talk received, £6,000 a month, right? Before any advertising, before anything else. And you didn't have to do anything. So that's clever, right? And that's going back 25 years, 24 years, 25 years, however long it is, right? So you think how much 6,000 was back then. Today, just pay for your electric, right? Do you know what I mean? But that's a lot of money, all right? DKB, right? The big companies were all over Cop Talk. They knew Cop Talk was the best football website, fans website in the world, right? And then I remember another company, because my relation with that particular company dwindled, and I'll talk about all that one day, because they had a change of management. And I ended up going to Footy Mad, who offered me £4,000 a month, because I don't think they were just, I think that was owned by one guy, and whereas Total Football, if you like, was Future Publishing. Google them, Future Publishing, one of the biggest magazine publishers in the industry. They're worth a lot of money. So £6,000 to them wasn't out, whereas £4,000 to this particular individual was a lot of money. But I like the idea, and I went with them. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you all this is these, without naming the specific one of those, they had tactics, right? Some of these hubs, and there were other ones as well, that they would get the affiliates on board, people like me. I was so powerful, if you like, because Cop Talk was the one they needed. I could do what I wanted, really. I was very much like, no, I'm not having anyone telling me what I can and can't do. And don't tell me to exploit my readers. Don't anything. I'm doing my own shit. I'm happy to work with you, but that's it, right? And, there was people that tried to get me to agree to deals to build websites for Inter Milan, AC Milan, Real Madrid, Barcelona, German clubs, anything. And they wanted me to go all over Europe to replicate what we'd done with Cop Talk, what I'd done with Cop Talk. There was no we. But how do you do that? How do you recreate passion? You can't do that. You've either got it or you haven't. And again, this is a long story and you don't need to know all of that. But some of these organisations, if you like, these companies that took on board these other fan sites, they used to have like little classes, and try and educate them a little bit how to lure, football supporters in. Football supporters are pretty gullible, right? Don't be offended by that, right? Because it might not apply to you. But football supporters can be very gullible. They get excited because they want their team to be the best and they want their team to sign, whoever. So if they get that little bit of hope, they'll cling to it and they'll follow that person. So we didn't have social media back then, really. Right, because Cop Talk was around before all of these things, right? So you didn't have the ITKs and all that, but you did have these fan sites. And these people that ran these hubs above the fan sites wanted to get as much advertising revenue as possible. And they would organise these little get-togethers and they'd get the editors from all the different little fan sites, which were just ordinary lads and lasses or whatever that supported West Ham, Aston Villa, Man United or whatever. Nothing wrong with these people, but they would try and get them to exploit and to lure people in. And they would have little classes, if you like. I did not participate in this, right? And they would have these classes and they would say what you need to do. And they would explain about transfer speculation, right? And they would say to them, it's common sense, there's common sense that you can say personal terms have been agreed, because that doesn't really mean anything, but the gullible football supporters, some of them, especially younger fans, and this is how they operated, the younger fans will think that, it's going to happen, and they're going to keep coming back. And in other words, retention, retaining your visitors, your unique users, they called it, and creating more of a buzz about you and your website. And, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter, because personal terms can be agreed and a deal can fall through, right? So it gave those people tactics to lure people in. And those same tactics apply 20, 25 years later today with these ITKs, right? Because all you need is one of them to just to go, personal terms have been agreed. And then you're following that and you think, oh, right, okay, he knows what's going on, right? And if you eventually sign that player later, you will go back to the first person that said it and think that they knew. But it doesn't work like that, guys. You know, you have to differentiate between the people that are bullshitting you, right, and just trying to, you know, to wing it, if you like, and the people that actually will say personal terms have been agreed, and they are telling you that for the right reasons. So if you think about it, all these people are saying personal terms agreed, and I'm telling you right now, I don't believe that to be the case. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm right at all, right? I could be wrong with this. But it would make more sense for me if I wanted to, you know, pretend I knew it, you know, for me to join in that and to say, yeah, guys, yeah, it's all been agreed, because that's what everybody's saying right now. So if it went wrong, I won't look a div, because everyone's wrong, right? Because something changed in football. There's always that disclaimer that something can change, and I point that out all the time, right? What I'm trying to say is that I think that every single person that's saying that about them terms being agreed are having you on. I genuinely believe that. Now, at the time of recording, maybe that statement applies. Maybe when you watch this video, maybe someone credible has come out and said it. So don't just assume that, you know, there might be someone you really like that you trust that said it. Don't take it as criticism of that person, because right, all I can do is base it on the people that I've seen saying it so far. And one of them is a freelance journalist that has made quite a name for himself based on the back of Liverpool Football Club being up for sale. What I mean by that is when Liverpool Football Club came up for sale in November, he knew everything, people were following him, he built up his audience, it didn't happen, but he's got a following now. This is what I try on my videos to try and explain to you how some of these things work, right? And I personally think I have the experience over all of these people, because they were all on potties when Cop Talk started, because I am an old fart, right? And I've done it all, and I've made all the mistakes as well. And I've run with things over the years and got it wrong sometimes, not very often. And it's usually because someone let me down. So I'm far more cautious now. So when I come on here and make a statement, I'm very confident with when I'm saying it. And that's what I hope my audience gets. So, one of these big time freelancers today has said, I understand that Liverpool are now having talks with Thuram and Kone, right? And I think he's put that out overnight or within the last 12 hours or 24 hours or whatever. There's no point in looking for it, right? He, even though I don't follow him, and I think he's just trying to he puts a lot of affiliate links out, right? So that's fine, that's up to him. But it's not like his heart's in the right place, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you guys will ever understand. Do you know what? And I'm not saying that what I mean by that is maybe you don't care. I care because I care about the people that support me, and I hate people. I hate it when people get sucked into something. It's just me, it's just who I am. Because people message me and go, what do you think of this dunk? And I say, I think he's talking shite there. So there is someone, a big freelancer, that has said that talks are taking place between Thuram and Liverpool and Kone and all that. But I actually believe that. You know, I do believe that. And we've been saying that all week. We know about the talks with Kone because they took place on Wednesday, right? And we know that they're taking place again today. And that's coming from credible people. But I'm afraid, guys, that when someone says personal terms is agreed, that isn't something that you should ever be excited about. Ever. No matter who says it. Even if I come in and say, right, guys, I've heard personal terms are agreed. It's like the basic... There are no talks unless personal terms are agreed. Now, you could say, well, how do you ever find out? Then, well, you have what's called like preliminary talks, if you like, really, where you do a bit of sounding out. So, if I'm an agent, and this is exactly what's been explained to me before by people that I know that are involved in that kind of stuff. If they pick up the phone to someone, right, which is usually a third-party representative of, let's say, Liverpool Football Club, because Liverpool Football Club don't want to, get into any trouble or anything. We know it all happens, but there's very clever ways of doing it. So they'll get an agent to work for Liverpool to make the inquiry or whatever, the preliminary inquiries. And an agent once said to me, he says, Duncan again? Why Duncan? It'd be Dunk, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? I only get called Duncan when I'm in trouble. Dunk. When it comes to stuff that's serious conversations and formal conversations, people do tend to call me by my first name. Okay, so Duncan, when I receive an inquiry regarding one of my clients, the first thing I will say to them is, look, but first of all, yes or no, he's not available. But the first thing that he'll say of any importance is, right, okay, it would be interesting to discuss that, but I'll tell you right now, a ballpark figure that we're looking at is this, right? Now, if that agent turns around and says he's looking for 150 grand, right, Liverpool or whoever the club is or the agent representing Liverpool, right, they don't necessarily go, oh, right, okay then, because that's when you have negotiations. But it gives an indicator of what Liverpool or any club would be looking at paying, right? So, like, you're Liverpool and you go, you're George, right? The new sporting director. You go, what, 150 grand? Okay, no problem. Let's sit down and have a talk then. And he puts the phone down. He says, 150 grand, my ass, right? But he's got a rough idea of what the state of play is. So the next stage, if you think about it, is they get together. So personal terms agreed can be that initial thing. And someone go, yeah, personal terms agreed. You don't, like some people say, the formal process, the official legal processes, if you like, is you saw recently Gary McAllister, Brighton's given him permission to discuss a move to Liverpool, to discuss personal terms, to undergo a medical, right? If him and his agent are happy with everything. All that stuff is done ages before, guys. You don't bid for a player unless you already know the finances. You don't bid for a player unless you know how much that club are possibly going to let him go for. You have all that information first. And because what would be the point of bidding for a player, having the bid accepted, and then sitting down with the agent and going, right, so what we're talking, 300 grand a week, get to the fuck. Pointless. So personal terms are, when you see that personal terms agreed, that please never, ever, ever, ever get excited by that. Ever, right? And another thing to do with that is a lot of maybe like the younger fans maybe don't understand some of this, so I try to help a little bit, right? I hope I don't come across as condescending and preaching and being insulting and that, because I know that a lot of you understand this, right? But some people don't, right? So we agreed personal terms with Kone and Thuram, right? And some fans might get excited by that, even if it's a true statement. It really is true, right? I've come on here and said, guys, multiple people are saying this, I believe it, right? And you go, nice one, Dunk said it, cool, right? But that agent may have agreed personal terms for his client with Manchester United, Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea as well, right? So it doesn't mean anything. So please, I see the hype today within the Cop Talk, community, if you like. Not on the members' website, because members' website is a different thing altogether. But I think you know what I mean. So we already know Liverpool are sniffing around those two players. We know this, right? We know conversations have taken place. Have they agreed personal terms? Well, it depends which stage you want to look at it at. Do Liverpool Football Club have an understanding of how much that those players would want, command, the agent would want and everything? Yes, absolutely. All the other stuff wouldn't be taking place. So if it's that people are trying to imply is agreed, then yes. If it's all agreed, like formally agreed, right, without getting into it, right, which is a little bit different. No, I don't believe that at this present time. So there you go. So I don't know if I've explained this well. The point of the video is to say that don't be excited when you hear personal terms agreed. That's it. I could have just said that at the start, but then I don't think you'd have understood it. And what I'm trying to say is 25 years ago, these organisations that were not really professional media organisations, they were trying to get into something that they knew was going to take off, which was obviously going to be football websites and all that. We didn't have podcasts and YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google. All these things didn't exist when Cop Talk started, right? So it was all very new. And the big companies, like the publishers, the magazines, for example, were throwing around... I can't wait to talk about all this one day in my infamous book that I've been writing for about the same amount of time. But they had tactics back then to try and exploit the vulnerable because all they wanted to do was make money, right? Now, the same thing is happening today, all right? So you've got the ITKs, so-called ITK, and they're not all bad eggs, guys. There's some people out there with an heart of gold that are Liverpool fans that I would say are more like entertainment, really. Put it this way, right? Despite all my experience of it, there is not a single so-called ITK that I follow that if they said something that I would think that's happening. I genuinely do not believe there is a single one. Honestly, you might feel differently. I don't. And it's my job to watch everything and everyone. So if there was someone out there that was like that, it would make my job a lot more easier, trust me. And I would have done everything to get them on the members' website in the first place, right? There are journalists that I like to keep an eye on, depending on what the subject is, right? And there are also, without giving too much away, you can follow people, right? I know people that are best friends with maybe a player or someone at Liverpool Football Club, or can be involved in the family, right, of someone at Liverpool Football Club. And I've had this before, one example of this, which I can't even allude to, but was a manager of Liverpool Football Club. And someone in that manager's family had a very good friend. Let me work this out. Someone in that manager's family had a very good friend that had, quite a bit of a social media following. But not because they tweeted specifically, exclusively about Liverpool or anything, but they were a Liverpool fan. And it's common sense. Let's think about this for a minute, right? So what I would do is follow that person, right? So I have a fake Twitter account, right? And it's a picture of a chick, right? Listen, picture of a chick, because if you then try and follow a guy's private account that's locked, most men are like, oh, she's all right, she can follow me. Because men are a bit gullible, right? If it was a guy, people go, well, I don't know who the fuck that is, right? So, and the reason I would use that is because you get more with, if you're a chick in life. I'm sorry, guys, but it's just the fucking truth, right? And it's worked, right? So, also, I don't want to use my own personal account to follow someone because people will think that gives weight to the person I'm following. People think, well, if Dunk follows them, but I can follow people because I think they chat shit. However, with this particular person, right, they were close to someone in the family, and someone in that family was related to a Liverpool manager, right? So your dad is the Liverpool manager, for example, or your uncle or your granddad, whatever, right? And these people are still human beings. They still have Christmas dinner together. They sit down. They're just ordinary folks like me and you. They all go to the toilet. They're all born with an and they all leave the earthly one, right? So, they're all just, these people, to us, they might be your heroes, but they're normal people as well, So what goes on in their house and their arguments and the ding-dongs and the family domestics and relationships, whatever, they're no different to us, right? In the public eye, they can't go and walk around the town centre maybe like we can, right? And you might get someone that, let's just say, I'm going to say in this example, I'm going to say dad, right? So my dad's a Liverpool manager, and my dad's at home at the weekend, and he's a little bit, he's under pressure, right? He's under pressure with the job. Something's not working properly at Liverpool Football Club. He's a Liverpool manager. You all right, Dad? I'm all right, son, yeah. just, things going on. I said, all right, well, don't worry about it, ignore it, blah, blah, blah. You like you would if your dad was a plumber or if he was a mechanic or anything. Don't worry about it, Dad, things will be all right, yeah? Because that's what you do, family, right? Me, then, innocently, can talk to a really good friend of mine. I talk to Smooth, right? My best friend Smooth in New York State, right? That I met on the Xbox 20 years ago. Can you believe that? He's my brother. Amazing friendship. Are you right, Smooth? Yeah, what's up, bro? And all that. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to be careful. Don't want to be talking like, you know what I'm saying? Like pretending to be someone I'm not because he's a different colour skin to me and shit like that. You know what I mean? You think the banter with the chocolate the other day was bad? You should see how me and Smooth speak to each other. Anyway, but that's friends, right? We can do that. He couldn't fuck anyway. Anyway, so Smooth, I love Smooth. He's on the intro to my podcast. You never walk alone, but if you fuck with us, you walk with a limp. I love that. That's about 20 years old, that recording. That's why it sounds so shit. And Smooth's a mad boy, man. And Smooth says, we can joke and we banter. Men joke and banter, don't we? Put a smile on your face, you miserable fucker, blah, 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 and all that, right? And we all take the piss out of each other. And at some point, though, if you've got a real bro, real good friend, he'll go, you all right? Something wrong? The piss taking stops. Yeah, it's just my dad, innit? He's struggling with his job, things. All right, okay. And there's an understanding there, right? Now, Smooth is not going to go and ever break my trust to anybody, right? Because he knows that, one, he'd lose his friendship with me. Two, he's a good person anyway. He would never do that in a million years. But what he might do is, if he has a social media presence, is he might give off something that you can tap into without him even intentionally knowing it. All right? And I've seen this before. And I can't give you examples of this, but I really want to give you an example of one. It was a massive one, and I read it and I thought, I know what's happened. And it did happen concerning Liverpool Football Club. Because then Smooth can go on there and he can say an innocent reply. He's not going to say, my friend Duncan is really upset because his dad, who happens to manage Liverpool Football Club, is having a hat, because then everyone would know what it meant. But sometimes people can say things and without even realise they're saying it, is what I'm trying to say. So you've got to keep an eye. I keep an eye on all these people for you, all right? And I know who they all are, and I know who's shagging who, and I know who works for who, and all that. There's so much, guys. There's so much stuff behind all of this. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it, honestly. And maybe you don't like these videos. Maybe you're like, don't care. Have we agreed personal terms or not? I think I've tried to explain whether we've agreed personal terms or not. Right now, I think that these people are jumping the gun because they're going along that line of what they think is happening. And like I say, they were taught years ago how to do this. Not these people, they were on potties back then. But they were taught there was classes years ago how to do this. And so they're doing it on Twitter today. And also you have then companies like Reach PLC, which is the Liverpool Echo, the Fenway Echo, right? And look at the way that these websites, look at the headlines, how they clickbait people, right? You probably just think it's just clickbait, but no, they actually teach people how to do this. And we'll come up with a list of keywords, like 20 words or something like that. Try and get that keyword into your title, because we have more of a success rate with that. More people go in, right? So with these people, with those organisations, it doesn't matter if you're on their website for 30 minutes or not, or whether you turn your nose up at what you've just read. They don't care, because it's all about the numbers visiting those sites, all right? Because they can then, Reach PLC can say, we've got this website in Liverpool, this in Birmingham, this in Newcastle. Collectively, look how many users we've got. That's all advertisers want to know. Now, to me, it doesn't make any difference, because I don't have anyone paid to go and get advertising for me. I just stick Google Ads on and that's it. So when people say to me, oh, you're clickbaiting or whatever, I get deeply offended by that. One, I don't need to clickbait. And two, why would I want to mislead the people that come to my website or watch my videos? Because the big companies, Reach PLC, for example, that want you to believe personal terms have been agreed today, maybe, on certain deals, they don't care. They just want to show the numbers. That's all they want to do. Whereas if someone came to my website and went, well, I read the article, Duncan, I'm a bit disappointed, and I would have gone, oh, I'm sorry, mate. All right, I see what you mean. I like a giggle sometimes with an headline, but I do care And I don't want to, why would I want to trick? Like some wanker said this yesterday on one of my videos on here. He was moaning about the length of my video or something like that, or the intro or something. And he, you know what I mean? Like, I've never seen him before in the comments ever. He's one of those randomers that just comes in wanting to knock one out to some transfer news, the people that we don't want around here. And he made reference to something about a clickbaity something. Now, I don't know. I try very, very hard with my the titles of my videos, you know, to make them clear. Why would I want to clickbait the good people that come to my channel? Why would I want to do that? Because I'm just going to anger them. And if you anger them, or if you bullshit them, or if you tell them a load of guff, people aren't thick. They'll just go, I'm not going there anymore. Do you know what I mean? But the big companies don't care. So if you see claims of personal terms being agreed today, I think people are jumping the gun. I think the amateurs are saying it because the amateurs and the non-credibles are saying it because they just think they're reading the process. Well, personal terms have been agreed. And, you know, do you know what I mean? So if it doesn't happen, they can turn around to you and say, oh, well, there was a problem with this. There's so many get-outs of these people. And there's no one saying to me that personal terms have been agreed just yet. So, yes, the club will have an idea of what that is. Now, what I'm trying to do now is I'm going to try and log into the members' website. I don't know my own password. Let's see what I made. Don't listen to anything I say. I don't even know how to get in my own website. Here we go. Now, so why am I going onto the members' website? Because I've been recording a video for 30 minutes. So let us see if there's anything that's come up in the last 30 minutes from people that are involved in this community it's worth listening to. Well, there's talk there of Naby going. There's very strong claims to do with that. There is stuff to do with Thuram, but that is this is someone that's citing some of these less completely speculative sources, not sources, outlets. We're going to the scouting department. We can look at the updates here. So Kefren Thuram, go to the most recent page. There was some you see, they'll go on there and they will say I've seen this from whatever, and someone's put, turns out it was BS Anfield edition, aggregated rubbish again, one of the worst Liverpool in quotes accounts. Stuff from France, Lequip, which is very speculative. But there is nobody, you know, on these updates. We have live updates for every single target that we're going for. Once we believe they're promoted to, you know, genuine target status. And I do believe that Thuram and Kone are. And maybe they will sign for Liverpool Football Club, but we need to be patient. We need to follow the process. And we're not going to just come out and make claims. It'd be very easy for me today to run a news article on coptalk.com and say what all these other people are saying, because it means that I'm following the pack. And you know what I mean? I wouldn't look stupid if it failed. But right now, I don't believe that there is that significant process. By this evening, by my next video, I might have a completely different opinion. All right, so I hope you found this. People are telling me they enjoy these videos because it explains a little bit about why I have an opinion. Do you know what I mean? So I hope they don't come across as you know, patronising or anything like that. That's not my intention. I'm genuinely just looking out for you guys. So right, I need to crack on. Oh, sugar. Oh my God, I've got a hair appointment in 50 minutes. I'm not going to get a podcast done before that. In fact, I'll get this video on and I have to go. And I've got it. Where else have I got to go? Right. I want to be very specific. Just because no one's told me that personal terms have been agreed, because no one said that to me yet, doesn't mean it could be false, guys. I'm not trying to suggest that everything in the world has to come through with. What I'm saying is that when the right people say it to me, that's when I believe it. And I can assure you, with the amount of people that are part of the Cop Talk setup that I think that when that becomes reality, I'll know about it. Right now, I would chill. Maybe something will come out, later today. Ultimately, those two players are targets. We discussed this, but fuck knows, 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago. I have no idea. Let's just see. They are targets. There is formal conversations have taken place. We know there was a meeting on Wednesday with one. There's a meeting with another meeting today, a follow-up. That means Wednesday must have been good. Maybe, there's been progress there. I don't really like to go to speculate too much, but I imagine that we'll hear something after the weekend as well. And when I say hear something, I mean from the people that count. I hope you've enjoyed my video. I need to put my steak in the fridge. That's not a euphemism, girls. I need to put my Pepsi in the fridge because it's not very cold now. I need to get some work done. So, thanks to those of you that support my channel. You can support my channel by giving it a thumbs up, this video. What else can you do? You can leave a comment. I love your comments. I might get some of them read out later if we get time. Maybe tomorrow. Really, really enjoying the feedback that you guys give me. You don't have to agree with me. It's not like that around here. As long as you respect each other, that's cool with me. You can become a channel member. The information is in the video description. You can become a Cop Talk VIP member and make my fucking day. That makes things a lot easier in my life. I could do with about 15 new VIP members today. That'd really help. But in saying that, I had a dream the other night that I won the lottery. It's true. But unfortunately, I didn't win the jackpot. It was $7,000, and I'd love $7,000 around now. But I've been out and bought some Spanish Sueldazo tickets, they're called, for Saturday and Sunday. All right, and do you know what? If I like won a lot of money, I wouldn't disappear. I'd do this forever. You know what I mean? It'd be mint. We'd have a lot more fun. Yeah, it'd be good. I dream about things like that. But you know what? I am going to win the lottery one day, the big one. And when I do, I'm going to treat every single person that supported me and was nice with me. And I can't wait to see the people that, come across those people online that I've had to block over the years, and I can unblock them and go, look, just think if you'd have been a nice person, you'd have had a brand new BMW on your drive this morning. Because one day it's going to happen, and nothing would give me greater satisfaction than supporting the people that supported me. And I mean that. Hope you enjoyed the videos, guys. I'll speak to you soon.